everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Winds. So, I skipped the last option just because it's the same one that we picked before. Everything went pretty much exactly the same, but we've got some new dialogue here, and I think we're in July now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me.
すみません。こちらが新選組の屯所ですか?
Oh, yes. The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering. Didn't I meet you the other day?
こんにちは。お茶屋さん以来ですね。
I met him on the first day I was allowed to leave the Shinsengumi compound. This was the mysterious samurai that helped me while I awaited Hijikata's return at the tea shop. Why, yes, I appreciate your help the other day.
いいえ、大したことではありませんでしたから。それより、元気そうで何よりです。
Now that I remember it, this man called me by my name when I encountered him. But I never learned his name. I remembered Hijikata scolded me for not knowing his name, so I brought up the question. I'm so sorry for never asking your name despite you saving me. Is it alright if I get your name? His eyes twinkled kindly before he spoke, and I sensed a faint melancholy in his voice.
僕は伊庭八郎です。
Ah, Hachiro Iba. What a pretty name. I have to tell Hijikata later. How may I help you today, Iba?
ええ、実は。
Iba kept stealing a glance towards the base. I assumed his business was with the Shinsengumi. When I first met him, Iba defended the tea shop keeper from Takeda. In this encounter, Takeda proudly declared himself as a warrior of the Shinsengumi. I slightly suspected Iba intended to visit and inform the leaders about the incident. Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran towards Hijikata.
あ、やっぱり、トシさん！八郎です。お久しぶりです。
おめえは、八郎か。なんだってこんなところにいるんだ。
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide.
驚きました？幕命で教視察に来てるんです。それより新選組って本当にトシさんたちのことだったんですね。この目で見るまでは信じられなかったけど、おめでとうございます。本当に侍になれたんですね。
おい、冷やかすなよ。まだ扱いは浪人と同じなんだからよ。
でも侍になりたいって夢が叶ったじゃないですか。
冷やかすなって言ってんだろ
う。いいえ、江戸じゃ泣く子も黙る新選組と言ったらとても有名なんですよ。それに池田屋の話も聞いています。皆さんとてもご活躍だったみたいですね。
ま、ぼちぼちってところだ。
Oh, look at him, he's blushing. Aw, I love that. How very unlike himself. Hijikata seemed to be flustered, and his cheeks were rosy. Their rapport suggests that they've known each other for some time. Were they good friends? I still need to tell Hijikata that Iba was the samurai who came to my aid at the tea shop. Once I verified their conversation had come to an halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata, this was the young gentleman who helped me from Takeda the other day at the tea house. Hijikata furrowed his eyebrows.
ほう、そうだったのか。こいつが迷惑をかけたっていうか、余計なもんを見せちまったようだな。
たまたま通りがかっただけです。それに私事中でしたから、どこにも報告はしていません。
そいつはすまねえな。まあ立ち話もなんだ。中に入ってくれ。
Hichikata looked uncomfortable offering anyone any sort of kindness, but he looked at Iba warmly. I took tea to the two in the hall. Hichikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
今日に来たのは幕命って言っていたな。何の仕事で来たんだ？
今は奥詰め役を務めています。
An okozume? I listened intently but subtly, since I was unfamiliar with the contents of their conversation.
こいつは幕府直参の旗本で、奥詰めっていうのは将軍の身辺を守る奴らのことだ。
Oh wow! I am honored to meet such a man.
いえいえ、そんなことありません。父の仕事の縁でたまたまなんです。
But what would bring a man of his stature here, Hichikata? This meant Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. What an honor. It made no sense why he would interact with the Shinsengumi or why he had business with us.
お前の考えてることはわかるぜ。なんで俺と知り合いかってことだろう。
I did my best to nod without offending him.
こいつはな、旗本であると同時に江戸じゃ4本指に入る道場の一つ、新行東流伊庭道場の跡取り息子だ。その伊庭道場と俺たちがいた道場とはそこそこ交流があってな。その縁だ。
ええ、そうなんです。だからトシさんたちがいる今日に来ることになってとても楽しみにしていたんです。
Iba's eyes shined with adoration, but Hichikata scoffed and rolled his eyes.
勝手に喜んでろ。だが覚えとけよ。今日はそんなに楽しいところじゃねえからな。
Well, not yet anyways.
はい、肝に銘じておきます。でもそんなに危険なのに女の子でも大使が務まるんですか？
Iba glanced at me when he asked his question before looking to Hichikata. I gasped and cupped my hands over my mouth, and Hichikata's eyes darted toward me sternly. It would seem Iba picked up on the fact that I was female, judging by their interaction. I mean, Hichikata literally said her when we were telling him about the tea house. He called me by the female pronouns. So, I mean, you know, he outed us himself.
もしかして秘密だったんですか？
I didn't want to confirm any answers, so I stared towards the mat underneath without speaking.
彼女が女の子なのは初めて見た時から気づいていました。彼女のせいじゃありません。
わかってる。見るやつが見りゃわかることだ。
Hichikata looked resigned towards Iba inside.
こいつはちょいと訳ありで預かってて、表向きは男ってことになってる。新選組でも一部の奴らしか知らないことだ。だからここでも下手なことを口にしないでくれ。
わかりました。その訳、僕が聞いてもいいですか？
ああ、こいつの親父が行方不明でな、捜査に協力してもらっている。
行方不明って、もしかして雪村光道さんがですか？
How did he know everything? When he mentioned my father's name, the hairs on my neck stood up. How do you know my father's name? I guess Hichikata was also shocked by his knowledge, and he looked dubiously towards Iba.
ちょっと待て。なんでこいつの親父が光道さんだって分かったんだ？
それはすごい昔のことですが、雪村診療所に行ったことがあるんです。僕のこと覚えていませんか？
Iba asked timidly, and it finally clicked for me. If Iba had visited my father's clinic, then that explains how he would have known my name and my father. No matter how hard I tried, however, I couldn't recall his face or name from memory. We'll ask if he was a patient. I guess he must have been. Were you a patient of my father's? Iba looked a little forlorn by my response.
いいえ、幼い頃蘭学に興味があって訪ねたことがあったんです。
I see. Western learning. These pertain to the influx of texts arriving to Japan through the gradual dissemination of printing press materials, primarily from the Netherlands. Neat. Oh, I see.
でも、今度はこっちを訪ねるようにしますから。
はあ？何言ってやがる。お前は来なくていい。
そう言わないでくださいよ。同じ江戸出身のよしみじゃないですか。
Iba drew Hijikata in close, in a jovial manner, and Hijikata blushed at the notion. Hijikata is normally really uptight, so seeing him behave this way was startling. I had a lingering suspicion that Hijikata was actually enjoying himself. All of the commotion must have alerted the captains because they popped up from nowhere.
おいおい、八郎じゃねえか。
聞いたことがある声だと思ったらお前だったのか。
新八さん、原田さん、それに皆さんもお久しぶりです。
そうか、お前も今日に来たのか。武者修行か？それとも狂犬物か？
なわけねえし、お偉いさんの護衛とか視察なんだろ？
まあ、はい、そういうところです。
あんたが今日に来るとなると、それなりの職務に就いたということか。
Iba nodded plainly in response.
ふーん。君も今日に来たんだ。ま、死なない程度に気をつけなよ。
助言ありがとう。覚えておきます。
じゃあ、今度飲みに行くか。なんなら、今からでもいいんだぜ。
Each of the captains surrounded Iba and exchanged words. Most of all, Iba seemed lost in the amount of fun that he had while conversing with everyone. I guess he really knew everyone back in Edo. Hijikata watched their interaction with warmth in his eyes and muttered.
あいつは旗本で、伊庭道場の跡取り息子のくせに。何が気に入ったのか知らねえが、俺たちとつるみやがってな。
It seems no one can escape his admirable nature. He seems to be especially fond of Hijikata, though. But I couldn't dare say that.
まあ、ちょっとした顔なじみだ。訪ねてきたら中に通してやってくれ。
Understood. Before we knew it, evening had come, and Iba told us it was time for him to depart.
では、江戸に戻ったら、行動さんのことを聞いてみます。
言っておくが、その件は内密にしてくれ。
わかりました。誰にも口外しません。
As we exchanged goodbyes, the warriors returned from their afternoon rounds. One of them seemed to take notice of us, and he rushed over whilst shouting.
お前はあの時の何をしにここに来た？
Ah, it's you. It was Takeda, glaring at Iba angrily and demanding answers.
何を言ってるかわかりませんが、あなたとは初めてお会いすると思います。
私を愚弄するつもりか？貴様、名を名乗れ。
僕は幕府直参旗本大番士奥詰役伊庭八郎と申します。
幕府直参奥詰伊庭、あの伊庭道場の？
Yeah, Takeda. Mm-hmm.
はい。今日に所用があって参りましたので、旧知である司令官の皆さんへ挨拶に寄ったところです。
挨拶などと嘘をつくな。先日のことを告げに来たのだろう。
あくまで挨拶に来ただけです。それとも先日のこととやらを思い出した方がいいでしょうか。
Iba's eyes sharpened directly at Takeda, and the latter stopped his pacing and deepened his voice.
それはあなたがそう言うならそれでいいでしょう。私は失礼する。
Yeah, that's right. Bow out, coward. Takeda seemingly snapped into shape, speaking with a semblance of respect before storming off. Iba seemed relaxed despite everything. Everyone silently stood still, and I was afraid of another incident, so I sighed once Takeda left.
トシさん、今の方は？
5番組組長の武田官流祭だ。先日の茶屋の話は雪村から聞いてる。悪かったな。お前に迷惑はかけねえようにする。
僕は大丈夫ですが、この子の方を気にかけてあげてください。
ああ、わかった。
それじゃあ、また会いに来ますね。
Oh, did he mean he's coming to see me? Did he mean that he's just visiting the headquarters? I couldn't respond since I was unsure, and Iba smiled to me with his twinkling eyes. His face seemed reluctant, if not a little forlorn, and he left the compound. I stared at him as he walked into the distance, until his small figure was removed from my eyes. Iba was a mysterious person. Even if he was someone very important in upper class, he acted with integrity and kindness, commanding a lot of respect from the captains of the Shinsengumi. I did not think there was a samurai like him in the shogunate. August 1864. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.